I'm calling the May 19, I'm sorry, May 27th, 2026 board meeting, Williamsburg Independent Board meeting to order. And the roll call will be by Roger Faulkner,
Kim Williams,
here,
Donnie Patrick,
Here.
Kim White, Roger Faulkner, here.
and also, Roger, if you will do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I will.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You will remain standing for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. You may be seated.
First thing we need to do is the approval of the meeting agenda and minutes, the approval of the May 27th, 2026 board agenda. Ms. Housekeeper, do we have any additions or deletions?
Nope.
Okay. Can we do those at one time? We can do both of those at one time, can't we? Approval of the regular scheduled April 28th board meeting minutes. Do I have a motion
Motion.
and a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, the same. And the motion carries. Do we have any student and staff recognitions this month?
Nope. I can share about that during superintendent comment.
Okay. We have special speakers today. David Livingston with HIG Insurance Group. Is he here yet? Oh, you are here. Hi. If you'd like to come and speak to us.
Thank you all. I wasn't sure what to do when I got out of the car and there was sun outside, and then I got close to the door and the noon sirens went off and I thought, oh God, here they come. I'm caught. So my name's David Livingston. I'm with Houchins Insurance Group, and we provide the workers' compensation and the property and casualty for the district. So I'm sure you all have seen the proposal, and before I go into a bunch of things, I was going to see if you have any questions regarding the proposal.
If you would explain the wind coverage for us.
So, 3 years ago, we had a ton of windstorms, hailstorms that came through Kentucky, obviously tornadoes and such, and near here, up near Laurel. And so, insurance carriers, what they did is they started putting in, they used to not have wind deductibles or hail deductibles, and they began to put wind deductibles in and hail deductibles in. And each year, those have seemed to have grown. We work with some districts that are over in western Kentucky that have a 2% deductible on their property. With Liberty Mutual, the wind deductible is $100,000, and the hail deductible is $100,000 per location, which would be per address. So even though, the central office is right here and this campus is here, you've got two different addresses, so you would have a $100,000 deductible for this property and $100,000 for another property at any other address.
Okay.
So what our goal was last August, after we got finished with all of our renewals, we felt like we needed to find better options for our school districts. We work with over 80 school districts out of the 171 in the state. And as we went out and started searching, we have some folks that we're friends with in the industry that they're a managing general underwriter that they work with the carrier Obsidian. It's an A- rated carrier. And we started putting together an insurance policy and what it would look like. And the goal was to, and this might sound crazy, but coming from our side of the table, in order to save a lot of money, you have to have high deductibles. And so the goal was, how can we get deductibles feasible, because if you have three properties right here that have three different addresses, and you have one storm, and all three are damaged from wind or hail, you're gonna be 300,000 out of pocket. And that's completely unexpected. So our approach was, instead of trying to get and drive the premium as low as possible, let's see what we can do with deductibles, because we could raise your deductibles and maybe keep your premium the same or save you a little bit of money, but then you have catastrophic costs that could happen that you would never expect coming out of your general budget throughout the year if we had the storms come into play. And could be really damaging to reserves and everything else that you have. So our goal was to do that. And so what we have done, the wind deductible is 10,000, which is just like your regular property deductible. The hail deductible, based on the location and everything, they would not budge on that. But the other one also is the water damage deductible. So you all, in the last 3 or 4 years, at the central office, you had to do some renovations on that because you had a pipe burst. Right now, if that happened on your current policy, it would be a $50,000 deductible. With Obsidian, it would be a $10,000 deductible. So our goal was, if you have one claim, going with Obsidian saves you $40,000 if it's a water damage claim. If it's a wind claim, it saves you $90,000. So that was our goal. Everything else remains the same as far as deductibles and lines of coverage in it. Also, in the Obsidian quote, they build in cyber coverage, which you haven't had
noticed that.
previously. It is $1 million. There are no sublimits in the coverage. And so that's about as quick a synopsis as I can get without getting in the weeds. Any questions?
Can you tell us, I'm sorry, can you tell us about Obsidian?
Obsidian is A-minus rated carrier. They are a number 7 as far as financial strength with AM Best. For what they do, they're not a Travelers, they're not a Liberty Mutual, they're not a Safeco, they're not an international company. They are more of a domestic insurer. They're not regional. They're bigger than regional. But they mainly do public entities. The city of Lexington is with Obsidian currently, and we have some other business with Obsidian, but we had not placed a school district until this year. And we're probably, out of our 75 or so school districts, we're probably going to move 60 of them to Obsidian. And then we're probably writing another 15 to 18 new school districts this year that will be going with Obsidian. So that's the quick. They're in 6 states writing schools currently.
Where are they out of?
Obsidian, I believe, is out of Boston. The managing general underwriter is out of Virginia, out of Roanoke.
Can you help me just a little bit? It looked like the auto premium really went up.
Well, so the premiums, if you took 6 carriers or put them all side by side by lines of coverage, they're all going to have different premiums because they're all going to have different experiences and losses, whether it's property or liability or auto. And so that's the scenario in that. So some of them may have been pretty even, or like your general liability was about $4,000 cheaper. The auto is up, so it just depends on their experiences in the marketplace with the business that they write.
With our increase, which we anticipated an increase, are we about in line with other school systems?
As far as the percentage?
The increase, yeah.
Yes. So with, I should have said this at the beginning, with Liberty Mutual, they came to us last year after renewal and said, you can probably expect a 25% increase. They also lowered their umbrella coverage from $5 million to $2 million.
Okay.
And then they were also talking about the retroactive dates, which means on your abuse and molestation and your school leaders' errors and omissions, your coverage goes back to 92 on your school leaders' errors and omissions. Well, they were talking about changing that to 5 years. So it means it would go back, instead of 92, it would go back to 21. And then if you stayed with them next year, it would go back to 22. there were too many changes like that drove us to go out and seek out different markets because it would be too detrimental. You cannot give up that amount of coverage because on some of the claims that we see, the statute of limitations do not apply, or to the age of 35 for a student.
Does anyone else have any questions? I appreciate you answering those for me.
Yes, ma'am. One thing real quick on the workers' compensation, your experience mod has increased a little bit. Elizabeth's going to come down and try to do some training this summer. We've sent out to get some things scheduled, and our training consists of food service, custodial maintenance, bus drivers, and she'll come in and do that. And that is a service we offer. There's no additional charge for any of that service or anything. So if we can get your experience mod, if it's below a 1, 1 is average. If it's below a 1, you get credits. If it's above a 1, then your policy gets debited. So the problem is being a small school district, being an independent school district, 2 claims, even small claims, tremendously affect your experience mod. But that's the most controllable aspect of workers' compensation.
I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
In comparing the Liberty Mutual versus Obsidian, it appears that Liberty Mutual provides liability umbrella coverage of $5 million. However, Obsidian calls it excess liability.
Correct.
Is there a difference between the two?
It's the way they're filed with the state. The umbrella liability, the way it's filed with the state, it drops down over all the coverages, which the excess liability basically does the same thing. The difference between an umbrella and excess is there could be things that aren't covered by your underlying coverage. I've not seen this in a school district in 20 years that I've been doing this. But there could be something that's not covered in the underlying policy that the umbrella could pick up. But the excess liability, it doesn't drop down like that and pick up the coverages. It just sits over the top of your primary limits. So you've got $1 million on general liability. If you had a $4 million claim, then your primary limit would pay $1 million, then the excess would pay $3 million. They're very, very similar, but just minor differences like that.
Are there any other questions? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you
That's
very
very
much.
helpful. Our next speaker is Sarah McQueen with Dayspring Health.
While Sarah comes, I wanted to share, I'd spoken to you guys about our partnership with Dayspring, and you guys have signed our revised MOU. Dr. Eamon Couch actually started this, I guess it was in 2017-18, this partnership with Dayspring, and I had the opportunity to meet with Dr. Thomas. He is the CEO of Dayspring Health, and rewrite the MOU. And so what we had been doing in the past, I'm gonna let Sarah really talk about what the work she's been doing, but we had been providing preventative dental care and medical care for grades K to 5. But I said, hold on a minute, what about our 6 to 12 students? And that data was astronomical. The amount of impact and positive impact on those students was critical for their preventative care. And so we have created an opportunity to not just keep our partnership with Dayspring, but to make it a deeper partnership where all kids are being given the opportunity to continue preventative care, to be taught about that, and then also just tracking it. We've done a lot with the tracking piece, and so that was not being done previously, and Ms. Sarah McQueen has really, really stepped up to the plate and just owned this piece, and we are all better because of it. So I want you to share.
Thank you, and thank you all for having me. And at church, we always say hello to the people online. We do peace because we are Episcopalians. So anyway, I really appreciate having an opportunity to come and speak, and I do wish I would be able to do it more often. You may not after we get done, but this year the big change too is that I have become the district health coordinator, and so as such, we are working hand in hand. Sherry Reed and Ms. Crowley have been instrumental at making sure we get the documents that we need to input the data, because KDE draws from Infinite Campus, and your data is only as good as the documents that you have in the system. And so we have really been working hard at getting that inputted. And so just to share, we started this conversation about March, I believe. And Tabitha, you've been instrumental in pushing for these preventative health screenings, and I love that. I love all preventative medicine. And so what we have done, my nurses have worked so hard. You can see, so grade 0, that's your preschool dental screenings. Previously, we had about 2% documented in the system. Now we brought that up to 48%. Physical exams for preschool, we had 30% documentation rate. Now we have 82%, and this is just since March. Grade 6 with physical exams, we brought that from 16% to 35%. It's really hard to get paperwork from 11 and 12-year-olds. I'm sure you all know that. Vision screenings from grade 2, we went from 3% up to 93%. And so Ms. Housekeeper suggested that let's do vision screenings on grades 2 and 5, and so my nurses did all of that. Grades 5 went from 12% vision screening up to 92%. Hearing screens in grade 5, we went from about 1% to 92%, and so our documentation looks much better. We also sent out letters to all 5th graders so that they would be ready. So Kentucky has a requirement that all 6th graders must have a 6th grade physical. That's usually also when vaccinations are updated that are also required for Kentucky schools. And so every 5th grader received a letter to try to make sure that we have those records coming in for the start of next year. Also, what's new is we have sent out chronic health packets for students, and so we looked at students who have allergies documented, seizure disorder, and asthma. Those are the top 3. We're making sure that we understand what type of allergy. We all know that allergies aren't all the same. Some kids need to be separate, sit at a different table. Some kids, if they get exposed, it's okay. It's not ideal. Other kids, if there's any idea that they might have been exposed, they need an EpiPen use. And so we're going to weed out and work with cafeteria staff to make sure that everybody understands what type of allergy the students have, that our teachers are aware of the students that are sitting in their class, that they may need a little bit of help. They may have some scary moments, and we're going to make sure that our staff are trained to recognize the scary symptoms and to be able to react appropriately to make sure that our school year goes smoothly for folks with these diseases. And this is something new we haven't done before, and so I'm really excited about that. We're gonna make sure all of our coaches have asthma action plans for their athletes so that we make sure that we have inhalers on the sidelines. The other thing that I'd love to point out, because my school nurses are just amazing, during this 25-26 school year, we had 13,455 visits to our clinic. Yes, 13,455. And that is students, staff. It's probably not everyone. We provide free feminine products. Sometimes a Band-Aid gets, it's a quick here. And so it's not everything, it's most things. These are visits that I have seen. It's some that just the nurses take care of. It's also daily medicines. We have a lot of students that come in for daily medicines. And so that averages out about 78 visits a day that my 2 nurses are taking care of. We actually hit a lot of records. We had several days over 150 visits in a day that these women took care of. And I'm so proud of them and their hard work. We also offer free sports physicals during the year. Students can come in. They have to be registered with us with consent forms, and we have to have their insurance. We bill their insurance, and then we take whatever the insurance gives us, and we do not charge any extra above and beyond that. We have always been committed. We don't want cost to be the reason that a student can't do the sports that they want to do. We also offer physical fairs, and so they don't have to be registered with us. There's no exchange of insurance, and we usually do this the last week of school because typically it's less interruption of instruction time, and so we did that again this year, and that has been great. Those are just a lot of fun, and kind of looking forward, I'm going to be doing the training coming up in September or in August for our teachers to make sure all medicines, emergency medicines, that everyone is prepared if something like that happens. And I just want to say our partnership with the school has been and continues to be the most fun and rewarding part of my 18-year career as a PA. Now making forms is pretty much life draining for me, and I don't like it, but coming here and being a part of this WSD family is completely life-giving for me, and I truly cherish it. And if you all have any questions for me, I'd be glad to take it.
I have one. Do you get the HPV virus for the vaccination?
We
That
don't.
prevents-
We don't have that stocked at our clinic, but if a parent wants it, we can get it. We just don't have it. Vaccines are really expensive, so we try to just keep the ones that are required. But we can, if anybody wants it and asks for it, we can get it. But we don't have it.
Okay.
I don't have any questions. Does anyone else?
Nope.
I just want to say a big thank you. We
Yes.
appreciate Dayspring, and we just cannot express enough thank you, really. The health of our students is just, and that includes our community, because if we're taking care of our students, then we're taking care of our community, and we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a WEA representative today? Mr. Todd Mattingly.
I'm Todd Mattingly, the VP of the WEA Association, and I'm just here to kind of keep you guys abreast of what's been going on. We did have our end of the school year meeting last Saturday before graduation. At that meeting, we voted on a new constitution. We also held elections for officers. Aaron Brock will continue to be the president, with Karen Fields and Vaughn Hatcher involved as well. We also added hall. We're going to add hall representatives instead of floor representatives, because it's probably too large just to do floors. So and that will be appointed by the president. We also discussed some issues that's been going on around the school and out in the community that's been, kind of like a wildfire, so to speak, such as non-renewal of jobs and things of that nature. Also, we've spoke about discipline in the school, budget concerns, and a few other items as well. We did also meet with administration yesterday, actually, and address some of these issues as well. And the WEA, we feel like we need to be a better bridge between administration and the teachers that we represent, and so we're going to have either monthly or bi-monthly meetings to help address concerns before they maybe get blown out of proportion, or maybe to actually address things that need to be addressed for administration, so we have a better understanding of what's going on. Also, hopefully that will also improve morale, when non-renewals and things like that go out. So, but we just wanted y'all to know that WEA leadership, if you need us, please reach out.
Thank you so much. Do you have any questions for Todd at this time?
Nope.
All right, thank you, Todd. The superintendent report will be next. Ms. Housekeeper?
Yes, I have some exciting data. The first thing, a couple of things I want to take care of first is we are in search of a new DPP. So we will begin that interview process this week. That'll be really important for our team. And also, if you guys aren't aware, the DPP's job is very critical in making sure enrollment is handled correctly, but also it pours right into our SEEK funding, tracking and monitoring chronic absenteeism, mitigating, working with families, and we're looking for someone who will build relationships with families, who absolutely will focus on taking care of our students, removing barriers to student learning. And we want someone that is absolutely going to collaborate with our family resource, with our school leaders and our district leaders and our families. We want someone that whenever they knock on the door to talk to a family, that person is welcoming and they're excited to see them because they know they're there to help out. So I think that that's critical. The next thing I wanted to say is one of the things I was going to celebrate today was our partnership with Dayspring. But if you guys know anything about education, you should know that students can't learn until they are healthy and that their basic needs are met. And so this is we're just barely grazing the surface with what we're doing now. I mean, the data is unbelievable. It's exciting, but also we've got even bigger plans. We are always casting a vision for what it means to be well, like whole student wellness. And Sarah will be a part of our local wellness committee, so I love to see that we have people here today. If there are parents who would like to serve on our local wellness committee, I would love that. You know what you need at home, you know what your students need, and that wellness committee will be a committee that meets at least 4 times a year, where we look at our policies and procedures related to removing barriers for students. And on that team, I definitely want to head that team up. It's very important to me that we have healthy students in our building that have what they need, but also our director of nutrition will be a part of that. And I'm looking for a teacher representative. I would love one from all 3 areas, really, from elementary, middle, and high. Definitely members of our PTO. I would love for Liz Mills to be on our team, because PTO is a direct connection between school and home. But big ideas are coming up with our local wellness, so if you're interested, that'd be great. The most exciting news I have to share is we have compiled our spring map data. And Josh Patrick, he's not here. He would normally be the one to share a learning update, but he gave me the data today to share. But this goes all the way back. We measured it from 2022. So when we measure map data, it's our interim assessments. And we do not have interim assessment data for the years 22, 23, 23, 24, all the way through 11th grade. We did not start assessing our 9th, 10th, and 11th graders until this year completely in all of the areas. But the exciting news is our elementary, since spring of 22 to spring of 26, we have improved and increased substantially in elementary reading and math. Some of them are an increase in first grade from 22. Now, of course, that's different sets of students, but still our practices have improved from 49% meeting proficiency to 80% in first grade. We have in kindergarten 67% in math to 73%. In kindergarten reading, 51% to 61%. In first grade math, 61 to 72%. Our third grade math, well, our fourth grade math is 37 to 84% proficiency. That is huge increase. Last year in the spring, it was 68%. Our fifth grade reading is 50 to 80. And our fifth grade math is 50 to 68, and that is an increase of almost 10 percentile points even from last spring. So that's huge. That's a huge celebration. We have some other things that we've done to improve instruction is that our high school assistant principal is tracking our CTE pathways, making sure that all of our students get access to the things that they're interested in, but also that they are either going to be completers or concentrators in one particular area. Our middle school, we have improved. Our sixth grade reading went up from last year to this year 6%. Our sixth grade math went up 16% from last spring. And our seventh grade math has gone up 25% since last spring. We've also implemented a high quality instructional resource in reading and math from K to 8. And then next year, we're already starting the work. We met yesterday, and we're working on a HQI, or high quality instructional resource for high school. So we have a lot of things to celebrate. And when she asked about the student and staff celebrations, well, we had our final staff meeting last Wednesday where we celebrated teachers, the teacher of the year, the employee of the year, and then obviously our jacket learner competencies have driven everything that we've done this year, starting with leaders all the way down to our staff, and then all the way down to our students. And so we gave out jacket learner competency awards based on the community input. I never put my 2 cents in there because I want it to be based on what you guys are saying and what we're seeing. So we've celebrated a lot in the last 2 weeks. So super proud of our students and proud of our staff.
Do we have any questions for Ms. Housekeeper?
Nope.
Thank you, Sam. Okay.
Do you think that the exit criteria for kindergarten and first grade is what's turning the tide
Well, exit criteria wasn't required by law until this past summer. And so I would say it's definitely going to increase it even more. But I also would say that we have hardworking teachers who put in a lot of time and effort to learn their HQIR, their new curriculum. And I believe that we are doing a fantastic job right now, and we can still do better, but of monitoring student learning. We have, as an administrative team, every Monday, we have a student learning team meeting, and that's not something we've done even the prior 2 years I was here. We just implemented that this year, and it throws us in the ring every Monday to review student data. And now, the next step is really focusing on making sure our families see that data, our families hear what we're talking about. And honestly, next year, I would love to make those invitational to anybody who wants to come and listen to our student learning team meetings, where we're just reviewing data. We're able to share with you the good, but also we really nail down to what needs to be an area of focus and where we need to put our energy. And I honestly think it's been the support that we've provided for teachers, but it's really always the teacher in the classroom that makes the biggest impact. And so I think that the exit criteria, I'm very interested to see where that takes us, because we are even contemplating having it for each grade level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, what I'd like next is to ask for the persons requesting to address the board, the hearing of delegations. And I want to remind people that if they do address the board, that they needed to sign in. And I do have some names here. I will be calling those persons to the podium. They will need to state their names, and then they can address us for no more than 15 minutes. And we're glad that you're here today to express your concerns. The first one is Kayla Wells.
I'm very nervous, so please just bear with me.
You're
I
fine.
don't do that. I don't do this kind of thing often, so. Okay, my name is Kayla Wells. I'm here today not only as a parent, but on behalf of our family of baseball parents, our community, and our boys. I say our boys because they aren't just ours during baseball season, they belong to all of us. We're deeply hurt and disappointed by the decision to release Coach Patrick, not only of his duties as a teacher, but most importantly, as our head baseball coach. This is more than just a coaching change. This is a man who has poured his heart and soul into his community, this school, this program, and a group of boys who can be very rowdy at times. Most of you see the 8 a.m. to the 3 p.m. gym teacher, Mr. Patrick, but we get to see the 3:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. Coach Patrick, his kids, Kinsey and Raleigh, and his wife, Olivia. We talk so much about this school being a family. Well, this family is our family. As parents, we see things that many people do not. We see the countless hours taken from his family and generously given to our boys. We see the time spent giving speeches before and long after games are over, encouragement to players who are struggling, helping build confidence in players who doubt themselves, and relationships that go far beyond baseball. Also, as parents, we've witnessed firsthand how he has impacted our boys, not just on the field, but off the field as well, and has been there for them when we necessarily couldn't be. He's taken a program that lacks stability, direction, and has worked tirelessly to rebuild it from the ground up. He didn't walk into an easy situation, but he has happily took it and has done the absolute best he could with what he had. He took on a challenge that many others did not want, and instead of making excuses as to why he couldn't, he got straight to work building a program these boys could be proud of and believed in again. When everyone else wrote this program off as a loss, it was Coach Patrick along with his assistant coaches who have brought this program back to life and because of them, boys started coming back out for baseball. We had two middle school players, a 7th and an 8th grader, move up this year, my 14-year-old son being one of them. Coach Patrick took them under his wing and showed them what it's like to be a part of a team with coaches and teammates who believe in them. He has been a mentor, a role model, and a coach these boys could trust and respect. And that to us as parents means more than anything. By believing in this team, Coach Patrick has taken this group of boys and made them proud to wear Williamsburg's orange, black, and white across their chest. He has taught them discipline, accountability, teamwork, and leadership. He helps push them to succeed not just on the field, but in the classroom and in life. He cares about them becoming decent human beings, not just athletes. And that, my friends, is something every parent values. A coach isn't just measured by wins and losses. A great coach is measured by the impact they leave on young people's lives. Coach Patrick has put in so much effort to better improve this program, make it stronger, and give these kids better opportunities. He brought back alumni Austin Rice to work with these boys because he understands the importance of former players giving back to younger generations. He wants these kids to understand the pride and tradition behind Williamsburg baseball. We also hope that our graduating seniors this year, Isaiah, Hayden, and Bryden, will swing by anytime they have some free time during the next season. He brought a pitching coach, Josiah Baskett, from 700 miles away to help develop these boys, form, and improve the team overall. Our kids love these guys. And that just goes to show the kind of leader Coach Patrick is. He's never satisfied with simply maintaining the program. He is always trying to improve it and create something special for these kids. For many of them, Coach Patrick has become more than a coach. He's become a friend. For my daughter and many others, he's become someone they give a hard time to. Maya will not stand for somebody stealing Coach Patrick's volleyballs that he lets them use during PE. They love it, but I think he honestly loves it even more. We completely understand that decisions are hard and they have to be made. No one understands that more than parents who have kids that play sports. Families, players, and community members have been left confused, frustrated, and asking the same question, why? Why Brennan? When someone who has dedicated so much time, energy, and care to a program gets removed without clear reasoning, it damages trust, not only in leadership, but the system itself. This community sees the difference in someone who is coaching for the kids and someone who is coaching for a record, personal gain, or politics. Coach Patrick has always put these kids first, whether it be in the classroom or on the field. Taking him away now would once again create instability in a program that's finally moving in the right direction. Just when these players have found leadership, consistency, and trust, they're now being forced to start over again. And that to me is just not fair. This is bigger than baseball to all of us sitting here before you today. This is about loyalty, mentorship, and having someone who genuinely cares about the kids and this school. Coach Patrick hasn't just built a baseball team. He's built a family and a culture these boys, and honestly us as parents, are proud to be a part of. Today we ask this board and administration to truly listen to the voices of the players, the families, and the community members affected by this decision. We are asking for honesty, transparency, and fairness. Most importantly, we are asking you to remember that decisions like this impact far more than a scoreboard. It impacts lives. On behalf of us parents and everyone here today, I respectfully ask the board to reconsider this decision and allow Coach Patrick to continue leading the program he has worked so hard to rebuild. We talk about wanting soldiers to stand behind our teachers, our kids, and this school. And today, there's no one I would rather be here with than an army of soldiers of these parents and these kids to stand behind this school and to stand behind this program. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We also have a student that would like to address the board.
Good afternoon, board members. My name is Mason Roundtree, and I'm an upcoming senior here at Williamsburg High School. And tonight I'm here on behalf of our coaching baseball team, to strongly advocate for Coach Patrick to remain the head coach of Williamsburg baseball. And as a player, we feel like it's important to hear our voices, to be heard, because we are the ones that's directly affected by this decision every single day. We are the ones in the locker room, at practice, on bus rides, and on the field. We're the ones who have to see Coach Patrick, seeing firsthand the impact Coach Patrick has had on this program, this school, and on us as young men. When Coach Patrick took over this baseball program, things was very uncertain. There wasn't much stability and honesty. A lot of people had lost hope in our program because of the path it was heading. But Coach Patrick stepped into a situation that most people didn't want to take on. He didn't complain about the program, what the program didn't have. He didn't make excuses. Instead, we all got to work from building it from the ground up. He believed in us before a lot of people did. He gave players confidence again. He created a culture where people wanted to be a part of our baseball team. Because of him, players who had stopped playing came back for the team. Younger kids started looking up to our program again. He made us proud to wear these jerseys that I have on today. Coach Patrick is more than just baseball coach to us. He genuinely cares about every single player on the team. He checks in on us when things aren't going so well. He pushes us to work harder, not just on the field, in the classroom, and in life. He teaches us accountability, discipline, teamwork, leadership, and respect. Those are lessons we'll carry long after baseball. One thing that really stands out about Coach Patrick is how hard he's worked to improve this program, and he gives us every opportunity possible. He didn't settle for just showing up and coaching games. He went out of his way to bring people who would come help us grow and make this program strong as it could possibly be. Coach Patrick brought back alumni Austin Ross to stay involved with the program and work around the players. Having former players around us who understand Williamsburg baseball means a lot. Austin knows what it means to represent this community and what it feels like to wear this jersey. It motivates us as players because we see someone who came through this program still wanting to give back and help this generation succeed. Coach Patrick also brought in pitching coach Josiah Baskett to help develop our pitchers and improve our team overall. That shows the kind of coach he is. He's always looking ways to help us improve and complete at a higher level. He wants every player to get better and have opportunities to exceed. As a player, we notice that effort because it shows he truly cares about building something special here. A lot of people only take a look at our wins and our losses, but what we see is much bigger than that. We see the countless hours Coach Patrick's put into the program behind the scenes. We see the sacrifices he makes for us. We see the extra time after practice helping players improve. We see the confidence he gives players who may have doubted themselves before. We see someone who genuinely wants the best for us. Coach Patrick has created relationships with the players that go beyond baseball. He's someone we all trust, someone we respect, and someone we know truly cares about us. From some players, coaches role model as a father figure, and Coach Patrick has been that kind of person for many people in this program. Taking Coach Patrick away now would not only hurt the team, but once again would create instability in the program that is finally moving in the right direction. It feels when the program started rebuilding momentum, leadership, and belief again, we are being forced to just start it all over. For many of us, Coach Patrick has been a part of our entire high school journey. He believed in us from the beginning and helped us shape into the players and the people we become today. That is something that we cannot simply replace overnight. This is bigger than baseball to us. This is about loyalty, mentorship, leadership, and having someone that truly cares about kids and the community. Coach Patrick didn't just build a baseball team. He helped build a family, a culture that players are proud to be a part of. On behalf of our team, I respectfully ask the board and administration to reconsider this decision and allow Coach Patrick to continue leading the program he has worked so hard to rebuild. Thank you for your time and your consideration for listening to the voices of the players that have been directly affected by Coach Patrick's leadership.
Thank you so much. At this time, we are not required to make any decisions regarding this. But we have heard you, and we are appreciative that you're here today, and we're appreciative that you care about your coach, but about each other. And thank you for those that spoke today. We are going to move on with the rest of the action items and consent items. You are welcome to stay, or you may exit at this time. That's your choice. We'll move on to the action items. The approval of the FY27 tentative budget. Dalton, will you please present to us?
So the budget that's been prepared for you all is, as it says, a tentative budget, but it does have to be board approved and sent up to the state before the end of this month. In there, you'll see some changes. I know some board members had some questions. Most of the changes are from conservative revenue budgeting, hitting numbers that we know we're going to get on our revenue, make our budget a lot more accurate. We also took the initiative to move some people because we had an issue last year when the Big Beautiful Bill came out. We didn't know if we were going to get all of our title funding, so Title 1 through 5, which would have been a huge detrimental hit to us. So we went to the war room and pulled as many people out of Fund 2 as we could, which is our grant fund. That took an impact on our general fund this year. And then we had already got those budgets approved before they said, oh yeah, we're going to give you your title funds back. So once we approved those last year for Fund 2, we didn't have a lot of people in there. We couldn't change it until after this year. So this year going forward, we've moved a lot more people back knowing that we're going to get those title funds. And then the only new thing in there, besides the budget revenue coming down due to conservative budgeting, is the daycare budget. I spoke with Kayla. We went over the numbers. She believes those numbers are going to be accurate, but as we move closer to the final working budget due September 30th, those numbers should be nailed down. And the daycare is set up to fund itself with student enrollment fees and as well as state assistance from the grant.
When does enrollment start for that?
I haven't heard. I know
childcare?
the childcare.
Enrollment is open right now, and Kayla's calling all of those people that have expressed interest in the past. We are looking at a very, very soon opening,
Yep.
ribbon cutting, possibly next week, the week after.
Yeah, I know all the T's are crossed, the I's are dotted, and then the finance side of how parents pay through the Brightwheel app. We got all of the payments set up there through ACH or credit card, debit card payments. And then I will give you some positive news that I saw today. I shared with Ms. Housekeeper this morning before I came back over here. The state came out with their forecasted SEEK, so we get 3 different SEEKs budgets essentially throughout the year. We budget on our forecasted SEEK. Our SEEK did go up with the legislative session. Per pupil amounts went up. Our enrollment increased, so our SEEK went up on that. We budgeted pretty conservatively below that in case it does fall after the December 1st child count. We should receive our tentative sometime after December. That is subject to change. It could go up, it could go down. Last year, I've seen it go from 4.3 to 4.5, and then once we get the final numbers in the last 4 months of school, drop as much as 300,000. So,
Student attendance is critical.
yep, that student
Critical for
attendance,
that.
DPP's super critical, but the good news, our SEEK seems to be trending forward and up. We budgeted super conservatively on that just to make sure in case our new tax assessment comes in. If our assessment goes higher, our SEEK funding goes lower. So I kind of hit the mark kind of in between where the state says we're going to be and where our historical actuals kind of show on trends. Any other questions?
One more question.
Yeah.
It's about what's coming up on the insurance. Are you good with that new company?
Yeah. Me and David, we've been talking about it, and I don't know if I think the Liberty proposals aren't on there yet. At the time, Liberty hasn't come out with those proposals, but like you said, they project anywhere from 20 to 25% increase, which is going to make our overall payment a lot higher than the new company is going to give us. And I went ahead and put the new company's year-long insurance payment into our budget. That's paid out of our 320 fund, our building fund. So the state matches our tax amount. So whatever tax amount the state says I have to move a certain amount into our building fund, and the state matches that. We have an FSPK, which all schools have. We have our recallable nickel, which is fully matched by the state, and that new nickel that we approved last year, I actually found that out on the SEEK that we're getting funded for that. It's only at 25% for the first 2 years, and then it'll be fully funded after that. That's also in there, and we'll have, after our debt service is paid out, our insurance is paid out through our building fund, we'll have about $312,000 to reimburse the district back on maintenance and building cost.
Be great. One more question.
Yeah.
The auditor, the one coming up now is the auditor.
Mhm.
That's a new auditor, right?
No, the Allen and Associates, it's the same, but we have to have the audit contract in to the state before the end of the month. But that's up for negotiation after that. It's just paperwork that has to be submitted to the state.
So we can,
So we can change if we
can change that.
choose.
If you
Okay.
decide, yes.
Yeah.
Yep, I just have to have that documentation to the state before the end of the day on May 30th.
And you're for sure it can be changed.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, 'cause we
yes.
don't want to go through them again.
Yep, after speaking with several people, mentors, and some people from the state, Jackie Chisholm is over that through KDE. It's just a piece of paper that they require all districts to have, saying, we have an auditor lined up, and it's liable to change after that, up to the board's discretion.
And it's my understanding you're starting to investigate some things there, right?
Yes.
So let me ask this question. If the audit contract is approved today, does that seal the deal that we're in?
No, it just says
With
for,
them?
for this point in time, that's the auditor that we have lined up, but from my understanding from everybody that I've talked to, it's liable to change.
When would this contract have to be signed?
It's due to the state by 3 p.m. on May 30th. And it's kind of a quick turnaround.
Contingency?
Our contingency right now with the budget is setting right around 4%. It's close to 300,000. I'd have to give you that number. I'd have to look on my computer.
And the state only requires,
A minimum of 2%. Yes, ma'am.
What would happen if the audit contract is not provided to the state
I can get with Jackie and see if we can.
before that deadline?
Yeah,
Would
I can.
Would there be a process for granting an extension?
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
sure there would
there
be. And I can get with Jackie Chisholm and talk to her. I can email her here in just a second and see what we can do about that. I know to get another auditor, we'd have to put it out to bid and have to go through the newspaper process and all of that. But
Yeah, I think there's a lot of concern
Yeah.
about the audit that we received.
Yes, sir.
And the timeliness of it
Yes,
this
sir.
past year. So, and I think that there's some real interest into exploring other options.
Yes, sir.
So that, if you could reach out to someone and,
Yep.
and find out whether or not an extension for that deadline is a possibility.
Yeah, I can contact Jackie today.
when we get to that, we may need to have some more discussion.
I agree.
What's
Oh.
next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just clarify one thing. On our contingency, we have 4%. The
Yeah.
state requires 2,
Mhm.
and it's not recommended that we have any more than 10. Isn't that correct?
The higher
Okay.
contingency that you have, more cause for speculation that you're not spending the money on the students that you should.
Right.
A really safe number is 10, but the state minimum is at 2. And on the tentative budget right now, I think it's sitting at like 3.9 or something like that, right around 4%.
Okay. Table the, oh, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's finish with the budget first, okay? Do we have other questions? I think that each of us have, well, I know that I have, and I know that Ms. White has, she is not here today,
Yes, ma'am.
have addressed some specifics with you
Yep.
regarding the tentative budget.
Yep.
And that may require some more discussion with her.
Yep.
But do any of you at this time have any more specific questions for this before we vote? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate your work.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
May I have a motion to approve the FY '27 tentative budget?
Motion.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. The motion passes. We're moving on to the approval of the auditor's contract for the 2026-2027 school year.
I'm going to
we're
make a
gonna need some-
recommendation that you move that to the end of the agenda,
Okay?
and maybe we can discuss it a bit further.
I just don't want to be tied.
No, and the way that this contract reads, honestly, it will tie you, it will tether you to the current audit.
Okay. Thank you for that, Paul, and we'll get back to that. Maybe by then we can come up with some other information. So, all right. We'll move on to which will be, it's actually the third, but now it's going to be the second. Approval to accept or decline insurance coverage with HIG Insurance Group. I think that our questions have been addressed, but I don't want to assume. All right, are we prepared to vote?
Yes.
All right. May I have a motion to approve the insurance coverage with HIG Insurance Group?
Motion.
May I have a second, please? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Approval of the KEDC 2026-2027 Cooperative Membership Agreement in the amount of what do we got here? 30,000. I can't even read it.
$3,036.33.
I have okay. Do we have any questions on this? Okay. This is an organization that we've been with for quite some time, and they provide several different things to our district. May I have a motion, please, to approve this KEDC Cooperative Membership Agreement?
Motion.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. The motion passes. Approval of the membership of agreement between Cumberland River Behavioral Health and Williamsburg Independent School for the 2026-2027 school year. Do we have questions on this, or Ms. Housekeeper, do you have any information that we need to know?
We love our partnerships with our mental health organizations. I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen in a district it done this well. Has zero to do with me as the leader, zero to do with any of our staff, but we have multiple opportunities for families to be able to partner with our mental health organizations. They meet with these students in-house, so it doesn't impact their attendance. So if we have a student who needs counseling, instead of having to be pulled out of school, sign out, and go see a counselor, they can see a counselor here in the building. And also, we have multiple different options for them. And we have counselors here who are vetted through our processes just the way we are. We do background checks, we follow protocol to make sure that everybody that's working with our students are, people that should be working with students. And we actually they become part of the family. And I think no one would even know that they get paid from another organization. They're just part of us, and kids and families count on them. So this is critical for that whole wellness piece of our students.
Are there any questions regarding this?
Nope.
May I have a motion to approve the memorandum between us and the Cumberland River Behavioral?
Motion.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The motion passes. Approval of the memorandum of agreement between Somerset Community College and Williamsburg Independent School regarding the implementation of dual credit courses for the 2026-2027 school year. Do we have any questions regarding this? This is another partnership that we really like to have to take care of our students. May I have a motion
Motion.
and a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. The motion passes. Approval of the revised Williamsburg Independent School District Medical Excuse Form. I think there's mainly just one change, isn't there?
There's just one change, but I want it to be brought to you guys so you can see that change. And this is just another nugget that we need for our district health coordinator. But also, before we start sending out these forms to families to fill out, we want to make sure you got your eyes on it.
Do we have any questions on this? Nope. All right. May I have a motion for the revised medical form?
Motion.
And a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, the same. I'm sorry, nay. And the motion passes. Approval of the revised Williamsburg Independent School District Student Enrollment Form. That's only one change too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do we have any
It's just for
questions?
the new year.
Yeah, do we have any questions? All right. May I have a motion to approve the enrollment form?
Motion.
And a second, please?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Approval of the proposed revisions to the 2026-2027 salary schedule. Ms. Housekeeper.
The only revisions that are being given to you guys today are for athletic stipends. We had our athletic director, Coach Heron, you want to talk about it? I'd rather you share. Basically, when we had our salary schedule approved in April, we had not had a chance to sit down with Coach Herron, get his eyes on this. And I think it's critical that he has a say. He's our athletic director. He's a leader of athletics. And so this is just his proposed changes. So if you look in the yellow, those are the things that, as a team, we are proposing to the board for change.
As you can see with your form, there were some changes. We had some positions. As you know, we budget cuts have been hard. A lot of sports have lost a lot of money. A lot of coaches losing stipends and things like that. So we had a pot of money that we had, and we had to divide it up the best we could and equally. And we spent a lot of time working on it, and just looking at the amount of kids in each program and what they needed as far as staff. And we tried to divide up the best we could to make it equitable to meet our students' needs with the amount of money that we had. I mean, as a coach and athletic director, I want more money, but I understand it is what it is, and that's what we did. Did the best we could to make it work for everyone. Like in my own sport, we lost 3 coaching stipends, and that money just couldn't be appropriated back, so we just got to roll with it. There is some changes in Red Book that we can raise some money now for the coaches, and that is something that we have to have guidelines so that we stay in lines with Title IX for the federal funding and things like that. But we can't start doing some things like a lot of schools around us have been doing, and raising money to pay coaches moving forward, and that's something we could do to do that. We just got to make sure we stay with the Red Book guidelines and paying them through the schools so that they have taxes taken out of it. We don't get in trouble with the feds for not skirting around income tax and things like that. So there is ways to pick it up and make it up. I've already spoken to some of my boosters. They're willing to do some things to help. And I'm sure most of the programs will. It's just unfortunate, budget cuts are budget cuts, and we've lost places, and we tried to redistribute the money the best we could and as fair as we could, and I feel like it's the best we could do to make it work with what we had. Any questions about what we've done?
Nope. I have a question.
Yes.
How has Red Book changed to enable you to privately fund these positions?
In the past, we weren't allowed to put any money towards paying coaches, staff or salaries in any way. And Red Book's changed now where we can raise money if the money is raised specifically for that by the entity of the program, not the students asking for it and the parents asking for it. If we're raising money specifically in the community to raise money to pay for those positions. So we can't have kids running a car wash to pay for a coach, but we can raise money with sponsorships or donations and things like that that's earmarked for that fund. And it has to be put through it'll cause us to have accounts here at the school. We'll have to do some things to where the money's put in that account. It's followed. It's got to go through HR. I say HR, payroll. It's got to go through payroll, and we got to go by what's legal with the government to make sure we're not hiding money and tax evasion, things like that. But the statute's
More
changed.
district
there.
activity instead of just school activity.
Right.
It's more of a district
Should be.
activity funding account. And obviously, we're digging into that.
Yes.
We want to do it right. But it definitely is something that is doable as long as we have clear processes and procedures in place.
Do
Yeah,
we
we-
need any policy changes to take care of that?
No, our current policy states that we will follow the state
Red Book, yeah.
mandated Red
Okay.
Book. And when
Okay.
Red
So-
Book has been revised and edited, then our policy covers that.
Yeah. So now, like, we have student activity accounts where it's like the football team raises money, we put it in an activity account. That money has to be spent on the students only.
Yeah.
But if we have a district activity, which is different, you put it in your district activity account, that money can be spent however you choose to spend it, if it's raised correctly by the guidelines, not raised by students. We don't
And if
want
it's
students
said,
out.
if it's said specifically what you're
Specifically
raising it for.
that, correct,
Yeah.
yes. And that follows the guideline, and then you got a lot of things we have to work out
Yeah.
with Title IX spending. If you can spend as much on boys as you do girls, things like that. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of guardrails that has to be put up, but there's an opportunity for us to find some money to help pay for some of these
Yeah.
shortfalls of the budget.
Are we ready to vote on this matter? All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm sure this has taken some time to think through all of it. I need a motion to approve the proposed revisions to the salary schedule.
Motion.
And a second, please.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, nay. And the motion passes. Now, we did change the order of the action items, and so we will go back to the approval of the auditor's contract for the 2026-2027 school year, and I will ask our attorney to address that for us.
Well, Dalton, can you give us an update yet? Okay, maybe we could move on and hopefully have an answer by the time he presents his.
Okay.
on
Is
the
that okay with
taxes.
everyone?
Yeah.
That we proceed? Okay. We'll move on to the consent items. All items listed on the consent have been shared with the board members and are to review, and we reviewed them prior to this meeting. Those are the monthly financial report, the treasurer's report, monthly balance sheet, and April orders of the treasurer, and any fundraisers. Do we have any questions for Dalton before we ask for a motion? For the, okay, so I'd like a motion to pass the consent agenda items.
Motion.
And a second, please.
Second.
And all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Okay, let's move on to committee reports. Dalton, on taxes, do you have anything to report other than what you reported? Because it wasn't really on taxes. Yeah, okay.
Gotta get some new soles for my shoes. I'm squeaking all over the place.
Can't sneak up on nobody now.
No element of surprise here. Tax collection update for April. We collected 25 bills totaling $18,643.63. Collections prior to April, we collected 1,469 bills for $1,180,258.02. All of that combined, our collections to date, as the end of April, was $1,198,928.65, with 11 bills as exonerations totaling $15,259.39. And we still have outstanding 263 bills totaling $99,856.12. As it relates to last year at this time, we've collected 1,505 bills. Last year, we collected 1,531 bills. And our collection percentage for this year compared to last year at this time is 85.66, when last year is 86.45, and that's a difference of 0.79% lower. But as it relates to the past, on the charts that I've showed you in the drive, it's following the same trends that we have last year, with the same highs and lows, and just the amounts are higher.
Any questions there?
Nope, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Ms. Carrie Hamlin, we need a staffing update. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, we have one new hire, and that is for a high school assistant volleyball coach. And we have 5 resignations, 2 elementary teachers, 1 high school teacher, 1 middle school teacher, and a band director.
And did we get a percentage of our attendance?
No, I will have to update that on the next one because we had extended contract days from this past weekend, and I've got to get those calculated.
Okay, thank you. But in general, that has been an increasing number. Yep. Do we have any other questions right now? All right.
You're good.
Do we have any board reports? Okay, I'd like to make one
What
report.
we still need to vote on.
I was gonna
is-
say, are we
Oh,
gonna,
I'm sorry.
are we gonna table that?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I was gonna give a report and then we'll.
I think we can
then
table
we
it for
can go to
June
that.
8th. So for June 8th, we can get an extension for June 8th.
Okay,
Okay.
that's what I was going to report. On June 8th, we will be having a board meeting at noon, and that will be considered our June board meeting, and it will also be the time that we will be having our discussions on our new board member and also our superintendent contract and our superintendent evaluation. Several of those items will be in closed session, but the actual board meeting will be as it has been today. All right. So in that case, what we will do is, it's my understanding we will move the second item, which has to do with the auditor's contract, to the 28th, which I assume will require an extension on your part.
No, to the 8th, not the 28th.
Oh, I'm sorry, the 8th. Okay, so you'll check into making that extension to the 8th?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. May I have a motion to adjourn
Motion.
and a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay.